shows me my beauty that I was afraid to look at. It says, wow, James, you just opened your heart. Wow, that was pretty scary. You know? So I'm learning both sides of it. I'm learning that over here I'm this, and over here I'm this. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing myself back to that center through that practice. And whatever that behavior is that we want to change. And it could be, it could be behaviors that have to do with creating a healthier life. There are no limits to this. It could be, something like fitness. It could be something like eating better. It could be, like I talked about, like getting a handle on my anger or learning to express myself more because I'm not good at expressing, let's say, right? So I want to do these things, and I want to find out that, when I'm in a crowd, I don't feel comfortable. What's going on there, So I'm going to check in on these things. The good news is that's part of what I'm talking about here, the practice of belonging. So when I say that, we're supported. We're supported by the other members of our tribe, those who have chosen to walk that path of heart. And that's the practice. So the practice is getting together, and my dream here is to begin to create a circle that will meet once a week. I call it the Primal Circle, because I really believe it is. It's the original circle, the circle of heart. And when we come together and share, I'm holding this because this is a fan, or they might call it a talking stick. But this is a representation of holding that space of heart. So when I have a circle, this goes around the circle, and each person that holds this gets to speak their heart. And I am the one responsible for that space. And when I hold a circle, I hold that circle. One thing that we probably need to learn in our culture is to hold space for each other. For a long time in my life, I was trying to communicate with people. Half the time I was speaking over them instead of listening. So this can actually teach us to listen and appreciate where other people are coming from. And they may ask for advice, and that's acceptable, that we give each other advice if asked for. They may, and people don't even have to speak. Some people may go, I'm not ready, and they'll just, pass the fan on. But learning to speak our hearts is a practice. Speaking from our heads is pretty easy because we do it most of the time. Speaking from our hearts is a practice that we learn, and it actually makes us a lot stronger. So this is one of the tools. These are tools. I've got lots of tools we use that I've learned in various different traditions. But the beauty of those tools is they help us to create a structure. When we have a structure and a practice, it gives us, in a sense, a vessel that we can then fill. We need to have that structure so that we can then build the strength in that structure to ultimately transcend the structure. That's the difference between ritual and ceremony. Ritual is the structure that we use, and we can learn ritual very, very effectively. But ritual is there to help us transcend ritual and to step into ceremony. When we step into ceremony, our hearts are open, and we're totally connected. But the ritual is there to provide that vessel. And sometimes it's passing the fan in a clockwise direction, and maybe another tribe says it, we're passing it counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. It's just when you come to my tribe, we pass it clockwise. Just because we want to have, because it's a ritual. Does it make it right or wrong? No. It's what we do so that we can then create ceremony. If everybody's bringing their different ritual and want to do their own ritual, what is that? That's chaos. We're outside the circle. And everybody has a beautiful ritual, but what we're here to do is create ceremony. So there are many ways to do that, is what I'm saying. And when I go to another circle, I respect this is how they do it, and that's really cool. And if they invite me to share how I do it, that's really cool too. But that's essentially what we're all here to do, is to share our hearts. Yeah, so we're here to walk in a good way.